Tyler Shough edges Spencer Rattler in preseason debut. This is Check the Mic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, new Arsenal jersey came in, one of 3. This is the home kit, right? So the season is 3 days away for the mighty Arsenal, so very excited. Okay, let's see what they got to say. These are always interesting because when you're covering the team and when you see these guys every single day, you have preconceived notions, you've got biases and whatnot. So to hear what people who do not cover the Saints and who basically are just watching this game, and that's the only context they have, is very interesting. So let's go ahead and hear what they got to say.
Let's discuss one of the QB battles here. It was yesterday. Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shough, both playing for the Saints. Spencer Rattler got the start. He's in his second year, 5th-round pick last year. The second most famous 5th-round pick to be discussed on this show.
In the last 5 minutes,
yeah. And then Tyler Shough, he made his debut, 2nd-rounder for the New Orleans Saints. They're going to actually be battling for the starting job here,
Correct.
Which is why we're discussing.
QB battle has commenced.
This. What were your initial thoughts on Rattler and Shough yesterday?
Well, also in that game, the shine that Trey Lance had from the Hall of Fame game kind of wiped out reasonably quickly. Now, he made some
terrible
plays on the ground, but, the passing production disappeared.
Twitter hype was still there, though, even if the stat line wasn't.
I mean, look, I didn't think either quarterback looked particularly good. Spencer Rattler. I mean, my first takeaway initially is what we've said for a while, which is that situation around whoever's going to start is not good. The offensive line looked pretty rough. Now, they were without some weapons.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the commentary like this, where, and not from the show, but I'm saying that I've heard, where the commentary outside of the quarterbacks, where it's like, man, our offensive line, man, our run defense in the fourth quarter, man, our wide receivers. It's like, yeah, guys, these are nobodies. Like, yes, same thing as last year. And we knew this looking at this roster, right? Like, you can look at last year. They weren't good. Like, these guys, if the wide receivers are Dante Pettis, Kevin Austin, whoever, it's going to be a struggle for sure. If Jack Stoll is your top target, like, Mason Tipton can't be your number one. If he's your playmaker, bad news, you don't have a playmaker, which we for sure need. Chris Olave, Brandon Cooks, Rashid Shaheed. We for sure need Eric McCoy, Talise Fuaga, Kelvin Banks, whoever's playing guard, because that's kind of in flux now after this game. But yeah, the surrounding pieces, the backups to the backups at those positions weren't great.
So that didn't help. But, Spencer Rattler looked like he was under duress quite a lot in that game. Tyler Shough came in. Clearly the game plan for him was just like immediate, insta releases as and when you can. Get the ball out of your hands fast. Yeah. And actually he did a reasonable job of that for a while. Pick 6 was ugly. The double move touchdown was nice. That was kind of it.
I thought Shough was fine overall. I thought he was better than Spencer Rattler. I think Rattler still taking negative plays. He took a lot of sacks last year. Shough wasn't great, I don't think, from a pocket management perspective either. I thought Shough was good in the quick game.
Yeah.
Quick game over and over again.
Which clearly seemed to be a plan.
Which was...
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was absolutely... And this is what happens when your coaches are quarterbacks. This is what happens when you have five quarterbacks on your coaching staff. You get this kind of a plan where, okay, what's going to make him most comfortable? How's he going to succeed? What do we do? When do we, how do we pull the strings here? And I think Kellen and the staff did a great job pulling the strings to get Tyler Shough in the best situation possible for himself.
Mostly accurate, and Rattler's quick game was a little all over the place. So I didn't love that.
I mean, I don't think Rattler is a quick game style of quarterback generally.
He's not. So Shough was a little bit better, but he was also, I just think timing was, I think he was slow. Everything was a tick late for Shough overall. The pick 6 clearly was.
The pick 6 was a lot of things. It was slow. It was to the wrong read. It was,
stare down. Yeah. It was a little extra hitch. And you're not reading the leverage of the cornerback who's sitting outside, sitting on the outbreaker. The cornerback, by the way, Eric Rogers, undrafted free agent out of Rutgers, who had a monster game. And between him and the safety, the undrafted safety that had the monster Hall of Fame game, you've got The Chargers,
They keep finding these
the Chargers
low-round
scouting
secondary
staff,
people.
the last couple of years, especially in the secondary, 5th round or later, they are finding players.
Yeah, they're either on an incredible run of luck or they've captured something.
Just
in the secondary.
something to keep an eye on with the Chargers, but they are getting some production from low round and undrafted players in the corners and safeties over the last couple of years. So yeah, I thought Shough was okay overall. You made the point to me off air. Every quarterback had a bad throw that coulda, woulda, should have been picked, and Shough's did, and was a pick six. It was probably the worst throw out of all the rookies. But Cam Ward, we'll talk about in a minute, and Shedeur should have had a pick, and Jackson Dart had one that was sketchy, but none of those.
You know, it's kind of interesting. I was thinking about this. If you look at all the quarterbacks, Cam Ward, Shedeur, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shough, they all kind of looked similar. I think which makes sense. And Shedeur obviously should not have been drafted in the 5th round. Okay. But they're all kind of right there. And, you know, this was regarded as a relatively weak quarterback class, especially compared to the previous year. But I think that's, at least right now, ringing true to where the difference and the divide between Shedeur, Cam, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shough, we haven't seen much of Dylan Gabriel and Jalen Milroe, to throw some more in there, but I don't think there's much of a divide as of right now. There could be. I mean, we could be, halfway through the season, we could be saying Cam Ward is the next generational quarterback. So things can absolutely change, and they absolutely will change. But if you watch all of them, it's amazing how similar I think they all played.
Were actually caught. So I think in the totality of the analysis, Shough's looks worse. Worse, and it was, but it got caught. But overall, I thought it was fine. Yeah, at Louisville, I described him as he runs the offense pretty well. I think that's why our friend Greg Cosell liked him so much. But there were some bad decisions in there, and we saw elements of that. Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back to the action.
Yeah, I mean, it was worse because it was a pick six, but it was no.
Yeah, and I know this is obviously here, but you take away the pick six, and you turn that into a pass breakup or just a regular pick, it does change a lot, right? So, it was a pick six. I'm not saying you just write it off, because obviously, right? But those are the things where when you have a spotlight on a game, those are the difference makers. And Tyler Shough cannot have those happen when he is in a quarterback battle. And he has to know that. He has to walk that fine line of taking chances, razor's edge, whatever. But you cannot turn the ball over, and you really cannot turn the ball over in the way of a pick six.
Worse in terms of not getting it anywhere near his receiver and putting it right to a defensive back than Cam Ward's was. It's just the worst that was going to happen with Cam Ward's, if it was caught, is it was going to be an interception. It was very unlikely to get returned for 6 because of the way it was, caught. But yeah, it's interesting that each one of those guys had a pass that could easily have been picked off, and the only one that actually was Tyler Shough. So immediately the narrative is going to be different because look, he's got there's an interception against his number.
When he was playing on time, I thought he threw the ball accurately, or at least hitting the right receiver. Pocket presence is the thing I'm keeping an eye on with Shough. He kind of ran into a couple sacks, and so.
Yeah, that's something rookie quarterbacks have a hard time with, is navigating the pocket, feeling the pressure. It's like one or the other. They either bail too quick. Cam Ward did that in his game. And Cam Ward, think about him at Miami. Cam Ward was used to pressure immediately. Offensive line was terrible. So he bails immediately on this play, and the guard picks it up. And the blitz is picked up. He doesn't have the pressure. But you can see that PTSD from Miami, and he's just doing what he thinks he's supposed to do. And as a rookie, you're going to see that a lot. You're going to see a lot of rookies bail too early, or you're going to see a lot of rookies hold on to the ball because they think, like Shedeur had a play. Shedeur had a play where he rolls left, then he kind of cuts back around, spins around, rolls all the way to the right sideline, and ends up running out of bounds for a -1 yards. Very Caleb Williams, very Colorado. Those are the plays we saw Shedeur make at Colorado. Those are not the plays that Kevin Stefanski is going to want to see Shedeur make in Cleveland. He is never going to want to see Shedeur roll all the way to the left sideline, turn his back, cut back around, spin, run all the way the other side. So these rookies are going to have to iron out all that stuff and get rid of some of those habits and some of those tendencies.
And then, of course, what he does in those muddy pockets where I think he's got some volatility to his game.
That whole, the big thing, though, is that offensive line for the Saints. Like, is it going to be able to hold up whoever is playing?
I don't think you can judge the offensive line, the wide receivers. I don't think you can judge any of that stuff until the starters are out there. If you told me this was the wide receiver group and the offensive line that we were playing with coming into the season, yeah, this is a really bad team. Just like last year. Last year, we had the Saints winning 9-10 games. If you would have told me, oh, well, actually, it's going to be these wide receivers and this offensive line and Spencer Rattler, it would have changed our preview quite a bit.
Quarterback for them and give them any kind of chance to work with.
Talise Fuanga moving to the right side. He got beaten pretty badly by Caleb Murphy for a strip sack. And then Kelvin Banks, though, the first-round pick.
Yeah, Banks was good.
On the left side, held up extremely well.
Yeah,
he looked good.
yeah.
I believe in Fuanga. I think he'll be okay.
I think Fuanga, McCoy, and Banks, you can go ahead and pencil in. It's good to go. The guard play I thought was not good. Trevor Penning was classic up and down. I thought Radens was terrible. That was the first time I've really seen Dylan Radens, and he was bad. So I don't know. Will Clapp is hurt. We got report that he probably will have a season-ending foot surgery, which is not good because at one point in the game, I was thinking, man, they might have to move Clapp to guard. Like, he might have to play one of these guard spots because I'm not sure if I'm totally feeling what, the Trevor Penning, Dylan Radens, like whatever happens there. But now Clapp is hurt. So I don't know. I thought the center who came in once Clapp got hurt, I thought he was good. I thought he was fine for being a third-string center. But, yeah, the guard positions are the big question mark, which we knew coming into the season. But
the interior had some questions.
Yeah.
Besides that other block by Fuanga. Anything else on the Saints and their battle? So the reports are that it is a legitimate battle between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough, and that they're trying to get both players with the ones. I would assume this flips. A lot of teams will do that, right? Shough gets the start next time with the ones. But for now, I think Shough played better with the backups against more backups. But I think he looked a little bit better. And I think ultimately, obviously, they want their second-round quarterback.
And this is the blend you're going to see. The blend you're going to see is, all right, perform against the 2s and 3s. All right, now perform against the 1s. Okay, now perform against the 2s. And then you kind of average it all out and see what the total picture looks like.
To get the starting job.
I think between last year and what we've seen in one preseason game, there's no real sign that Spencer Rattler is going to be the guy for them or even be the guy enough to beat out Tyler Shough. So, yeah, unless Tyler Shough goes on an insane run of turnover-worthy plays, I think you pitch the starting job to him. However, the other thing is, it's terrible. If you're the Saints, you're going to be calling Philadelphia asking how much would it cost to get Tanner McKee based off what we've seen from him. There've got to be better options than this.
I don't know if Shough's that bad, but
yeah, and that's that preconceived notion of the Saints have a horrible situation, but there was nothing in this game that would make me think they're hopeless at the quarterback position. Certainly not. You know what Tanner McKee is? Tanner McKee is Tyler Shough. Tanner McKee is Spencer Rattler. Tanner McKee is relatively high floor, low ceiling, fifth round pick who can play the game. That's it. They're all the same player. So trading for Tanner McKee is just trading for Tyler Shough after drafting Tyler Shough after already having Spencer Rattler.
They're not calling Tanner McKee to replace their second round pick.
It should be.
It's a second round pick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but maybe he shouldn't have been. Thanks for watching all.
Yeah, I think it's crazy after to already be like, yeah, Tyler Shough shouldn't have been a second round pick. That's crazy. I think all the rookies, from what I saw in game 1, all the rookies showed, okay, they can play. All right, they can play a little bit. They're okay. They can survive in this league. I think Shedeur, same thing. You look for physically, how's he hold up? How's he look? How's his arm look? Whatever. He looked good. He looked like he was comfortable. Cam Ward, same thing. Jackson Dart, same thing. There's some good. There's some bad. But overall, not bad. Move on to the next week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.